we are very pleased to have with us Associate Professor Dr. Hassan Abuhassna from Sunway University. So I am also pleased to do an introduction for him. So Associate Professor Dr. Hassan Abuhassna is an accomplished academic in the field of education, currently serving as an Associate Professor in the School of Education at Sunway University in Malaysia. In addition to his academic role, he holds leadership responsibilities such as Deputy Dean, Employability and Alumni, and Program Leader within the school. Dr. Abuhassna's academic journey is grounded in educational technology. He earned his PhD in educational technology from the University of Technology Malaysia, UTM, where he also completed a postdoctoral fellowship and holds a master's degree in the same field from University Putra, Malaysia. Before joining Sunway University, he served as an assistant professor at UTM. His research focuses on technology-enhanced learning, including AI in education, online education, e-learning, massive open online courses, learning analytics, and as you know, the integration of artificial intelligence in different fields. Dr. Abuhassna has published extensively in index journals and has supervised numerous postgraduate students to successful completion, demonstrating his commitment to advancing digital learning and mentoring future scholars. At Sunway University, he teaches and leads courses related to educational technology, instructional design, research methods, and AI in education, contributing to the preparation of educators for the digital age. And I'm very pleased that he will be facilitating today's session on using AI in thesis writing. And I hope this session will guide all the supervisors here from both the business school and the School of Education in supervising their supervisors. So over to you, Dr. Hassan.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Dalwen, for the introduction. I guess you have done a great job collecting data about me. Well, thank you very much, and I'm very pleased to be here today. Well, no need to introduce myself again. Dr. Dalwen has done the job. I'm also very happy to be with you here today for this session, where I'll be sharing more about AI in writing thesis. But I found it more useful to use this session as an opportunity to make a hands-on instead of just talking about the topic. So it will include a lot of practical sessions using Scopus AI and NotebookLM as supervisors. And also will be the goals of this session today is to understand the key AI tools and the research applications, and how we supervisors should be exposed to the most important AI tools in the field, especially Scopus AI, NotebookLM, and ChatGPT, of course. And at the end, we'll be navigating the ethical integrity concerns and academic standards when it comes to AI. And finally, how we could integrate AI guidance and ethical concerns into our supervision practices. Now, before I start, I would like to ask if anyone has any idea about Scopus AI. Have you used Scopus AI before? Anyone? Any idea what Scopus AI is? Is that a no?
Yeah, it's a no.
All right. All right. So Scopus AI is one of the best tools when we talk about research. Why? Because I'm sure all of you have used ChatGPT, NotebookLM, you name it. You know, the tools, AI tools are numerous. But when it comes to Scopus AI, it is something that we can actually trust, something that Scopus have developed based on their own database. What I mean is there is no hallucination, There's no fake references, which is the main challenges that we actually face as researchers when it comes to ChatGPT and AI tools. So what it is? Scopus AI is a generative research assistant that is actually built inside the Scopus database. And um, if you are familiar with searching and making queries using Scopus database, I mean, for review papers, systematic literature review papers, bibliometric analysis, and all these kind of research papers, you are familiar how to actually search using Scopus, right? So instead, we will be not only searching for articles and documents, we will be searching and using advanced search to actually give us a systematic or a thematic analysis where it is more organized, more founded by other researchers. We will I will go directly to Scopus AI. Now, I'm sure all of you have a Scopus account. So what I want from you is to just go to Scopus AI, all right? Just Scopus, open Scopus, www.scopus.com. And if you go to search, you can see my screen, right?
Yes, yes, we can.
Okay, great. Now, if you are familiar with the Scopus interface, it used to have these four main categories: documents, author, research discovery, and organizations. And what we used to do previously when we, for example, want to write an SLR or a review paper, we will go with document. Under document, we have this search within domain where we get to choose what field that we are looking for. For example, if I'm looking for document, mainly documents, then I'll be going with article title, abstract, keywords, and then I'll just type whatever keyword that I'm actually looking for, right? And then I'll just hit search. This is the normal search where I will be targeting to extract documents, all right? Published articles in Scopus database. All right, so this is the search domain, which is online learning. The results are 2,057,000 documents. Why? Because it's only one keyword. Now, if I make this search a relationship, online learning and something that affected or will be affected, in the field. So, but this search should be systematic. It's not random. What I mean is, I cannot link online learning to any other variables unless I know that there are research about this field. This relationship exists, so it will be, published. There will be articles published about this article, about this field. So let's say online learning and maybe students satisfaction, right? Now, if I hit the search again, I will get a few number of articles in comparison of the search that when I use only online learning as the main keyword. So online learning itself has, almost 500,000 articles published in online learning. But when I develop this relationship, online learning and student satisfaction, there are only 7,000 documents about this topic. Now, this is the normal search that we used to do when we wanted to conduct a review paper, right? Now, what if I use Scopus AI? Now, this is where AI have been introduced, and the brilliant thing about Scopus AI is whatever we used to tell the students, our students, do not use AI, it's fake references, it's hallucinating, there's no such information. This search will be based only on the articles that are published in Scopus database. So let me go with the same, keyword, which is online learning and what is it? Student satisfaction. Okay. Now we have two types of search we can do. We will do both, right? The first one, which is the normal search, okay? If I just click here, when I'm done with my main field, the research keywords, I'll just click here, and Scopus will start to create a plan. This plan is based on inquiry. I mean, it's the same way that it used to search previously for articles, but this one is different in generating the content. So it will be summarizing these articles and highlighting the most important information that came with, along these articles. So, for example, the search now is over, right? This is a summary about online learning and student satisfaction. If you read, to understand the relationship between online learning and student satisfaction, several key factors emerge from the provided abstract. And these are the factors, the key factors, and they are supported by references. If you click here, you will get the actual article that is actually published and uh, talking about this topic. If you go to learning readiness, for example, a strong correlation exists between student readiness for online learning, blah, blah, blah. And this is based on the second reference, which is here. And you can even open the document itself. And we will get to know how to add these into a ready-to-use list of references. When it comes to interaction and engagement, for example, there are 4 articles that support this key or this factor, which is 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so it's an actual articles that are published about this topic. Now, let me go down. If you go down, there will be something called expanded summary. If you click on it, it will generate even more information about this topic. For example, if you want to write an introduction for a piece of research about online learning and student satisfaction, then what you can do is just go to Scopus AI, look for the most recent, most cited, important research in the field. And based on this research, it will provide you with an expanded summary, right? Is that all? No. You will get more information and more, details to even make your life easier. One of the very important thing that when it comes to research and academic writing is the references, right? So if we click here, show all 12 references, it will show us all these references that we used. Now, should we go one by one and extract the references added to Mendeley or manual or whatever? No, you can just export, if you can see here, export all references, and it will give you the option whether you want to extract it as an Excel sheet, RAS, Mendeley, EndNote, all files are supported. So you can just extract these 2 references and then insert it into your documents and you are ready to go. All right. One more thing is the concept map. The concept map, it is actually generated based on the thematic analysis that Scopus just did in this topic. When I feed it with the main 2 keywords or any relationship that I was talking about just now, what Scopus will do is it will create, it's like a conceptual framework of the topic. All right. So this is the main topic that I have chosen, which is online learning and student satisfaction, right? So there are major keys. When I'm talking about this topic, I should be considering instructor quality. When I talk about instructor quality, then I'll be talking about instructor efficiency and then teacher competence. All right, you need more information about instructor quality, then you click on it and the information will be provided here. You see, online learning and student satisfaction are significantly influenced by instructor quality. And here are key insights based on recent studies. Instructor quality as a predictor, dimension of e-learning service quality, and so on. And it has a different set of references as well. You can show all the reference again, right? If you want to go and maybe be more specific on teacher competence, then you just click on teacher competence. All right, then the references will be shown. You want to be more into student engagement. I mean, inside student engagement, there will be course satisfaction and social media use. So which one you'll be more related to your study, you'll just click on it. And then from there, you will go into more, it's like a thematic tree that will take you into all these, um, information. Now, along with concept map, we have something called topic experts. If you are looking for the top 10 maybe authors in the field, you want to know who are the top authors when it comes to online learning and student engagement. If you click here, you will get to know these. This is number one. He has Frank, whatever, is well versed in the realm of online learning and blah, blah, blah. And these are the top 10 people based on not only publication, but based on publication along with the citation as well. And then finally, we have emerging themes, which is brilliant tool that you can introduce to your PhD. I mean, newly joined PhD and master students by research who are kind of lost and they don't know what to study because they are confused with a lot of topics, a lot of themes around. So these themes will be introduced by Scopus based on what is trending nowadays and what is rising, what is consistent. So for example, factors influencing student satisfaction in online learning is consistent theme. Consistent theme means that the publication in this particular field is normal. The number of publication is normal. So is something very common in the field of online learning to talk about and to publish about student satisfaction. For example, quality of online learning platforms, quality of online learning itself, as if we talk about the platform, see, online platforms, the design, the instructional design itself, and the platform, it's a rising themes. So people are yet to publish more about this topic. Okay. Now, this is all what I call is the normal search. What is even okay? What is even better if I go to what is it? Okay, search Scopus AI. Just want to copy these same keywords. Okay, now this is the magic where magic happens. Literally, if I activate deep search. Now, if I activate deep search and click search again, it will be a whole different story. But it will take some time because, this will be a source for the whole thesis. So if you are confused, your students, they want to know how to get the most recent updated resources that are indexed in Scopus, that are real, publications, not fake publications. this is what they can do. They are creating a database of their own in this particular topic. All right. So what Scopus will do is it will start digging and deep searching about this topic, and it will tell you in each stage what is actually happening now. For example, in this particular moment, I have found 20 sources related to how social presence and instructor presence affect student satisfaction. Okay, and this will give you the amount of the whole process. I have found two sources related to your query on conceptual change. I'm reviewing the finding from depth two and planning the next phase of our research. So it will give you instructions of what's going on at the moment. Sometimes the instruction will be very fast, but sometimes Scopus will take, a few seconds to update you. But usually, based on the mean of my search, it will take around 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes, and then the result will be ready for you. Okay, now thinking for 1 minute 50, 56, 57. I'm planning the report structure. Now, the search itself is already done. Now, it is planning how to present this report for you. The report structure itself is something I'm sure it will amaze you if this is your first time to use Scopus AI. Now, look, this is the report now. Deep search took around 2 minutes, 14 seconds. I remember when we were doing our PhD. This will take a year. I mean, maybe more than 1 year. Right. Now, what Scopus AI just now generated is a piece of art file that is related to online learning and student satisfaction, which were my main two keywords. So online learning and student satisfaction, dimensions, influences, future directions, quick reference, which is, in other words, it's a systematic literature review, very advanced one. Okay. Now, the first um, section here that Scopus generated is it, let's say, reorganize the articles based on themes. So it took time to analyze these articles into. That's why I was telling you from the very first beginning, it is more about thematic analysis, qualitative analysis. So the theme, the main factors here, for example, measurement approaches, satisfaction is a multidimensional, blah, blah, blah. And these are the supporting citations. Again, these are real citations. If I click, I'll just open these citations. All right. If you notice here, it's all new citations, very updated. All right, 2024, 2021, and they are from the top journals, right? Number two is the validated instruments, whatever instruments. I mean, if your students are confused, what should I use as an instrument in my research? This is the information, this is the answers. These are the top most common used validated instruments in research in this particular field. All right. And then what are the most technological factors, pedagogical factors, social factors, blah, blah, blah. All right. Now, research gaps, emerging dimensions. So along with the table, which is the systematic analysis, there will be a direct answer. It's a summary of the table. Student satisfaction in online learning is shaped by a complex interplay of technological usability, system quality, multimedia, blah, blah, blah. Now, the study scope itself, which is this study, I mean, Scopus AI deals with this report as a study of its own. That's why I'm telling you, this could be your resource. I mean, your student, your PhD students or master students as a resource that they can use later on, right? Okay, now assumptions and limitation, suggested future research. Now, this is all the analysis of the articles, but again, it will create an introduction to introduce the topic. So you can simply use this introduction to, I mean, paraphrase it and use this article to support your idea, right? Again, this is not a AI generated content. If you go to ChatGPT, for example, and ask ChatGPT to write an introduction for you about student satisfaction in online learning environments, it will be 100% detected as AI generated content. This is not AI generated content. This is taken from published papers and articles. So it's different. What AI is doing here is analyzing, reporting, and presenting the results for you. But this, I mean, all the information presented here is based on articles, real articles, human work that have been published. That's why my students do not get any AI detection in the similarity report because they know how to use AI. All right. Now, these are some of the measurements, student satisfaction in online learning, the key dimensions, matrix, okay, the description and all that. This is table one. You see the way that the report has been designed is a different story by itself. And these are the validated instruments that I can use in the field. All right. There's a lot of information. Now, what I can do with this report is I can view it as PDF, okay? Because Scopus will not write for you. Scopus AI will not write for you. It's not based on prompts. Can you write this? Can you write that? It's not going to do that. But instead, it will provide you with this priceless document, all right, which will serve as your main source of the research. Now, this is my report. And if you go down at the end of the report, what you can see is the list of references used. Okay, so these are the list of references that I can simply use. Now let me save this PDF file. Right. What else I can do is show all 91 references. If you are not, I mean, using your references manually, you can just export all these references as CSV file or as Mendeley file, import it into your Mendeley or your EndNote, and you have these 91 references ready to use. Okay, just click on CSV file and select whatever criteria that you want to include in the report, and then you can just export the file. All right, now this is downloaded. I can just open it here. Okay, you see, this is the file that I just downloaded. These references with all the information, volume, DOI, link, affiliation, everything. Do we have any questions?
Hi, Prof. Hassan. I do have a question. What if the
Yes.
institution has not subscribed to Scopus? Would there be any alternative way to do this, or any other platform, similar platform we could use, which is reliable as well?
I think it's the Scopus AI has no. Um, I mean, there's no other tool can do what Scopus AI does. But what you can do is you can ask someone from public universities, because I'm still using my public university
Mm-hmm.
email. You see,
Mm-hmm.
so all public universities are using Scopus AI, so you can just use it, or you can ask your library to subscribe if you have the subscription for Scopus, because I do believe it's highly beneficial for both students and supervisors.
Okay, thank you. I don't know, some of the supervisors here, I mean, we are a diverse group of supervisors from many different institutions. So they may have the Scopus, but at Global Next University, we have not subscribed to the Scopus database.
Yes, also Sunway has subscribed for 1 month as a trial, and then they cut the subscription. But I mean, staff and students are asking for it, so it's coming back next year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think looking at whatever you've just shown, it looks really useful and it really helps a lot with
Yes, yes,
it gives you a map of everything. So I think that's pretty helpful.
very
Yeah.
helpful, super helpful, especially for PhD students who are not yet familiar with what theory fits my research, what is the instrument that I'm using, and so on. Okay, now I do we have any other questions?
No.
All right. Now, what I can do
What?
with yes,
Uh,
please.
Sorry. So, Dr. Siva here. So, if you produce these materials or student use this facility to produce materials, when we run it
Mhm.
through the plagiarisms and other softwares, what would be would it be detecting something, or is just a normal original submission?
Okay, it will be under this normal similarity. So both ways, the students are required to paraphrase this written material, but at least they can use the references and the content itself as it's organized, but it will not be detected as AI generated material, unlike the content produced from ChatGPT.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. All right. Any other questions? Okay, great. Now, what can we do with this PDF file that we just created as the source of our material? As I mentioned, Scopus AI will not write for you any parts of your research. It will just generate and provide this source of, the content that is based on the information from published articles. Here comes other tool of AI that we can use, which is NotebookLM or ChatGPT. Okay, I'm sure all of you have used NotebookLM. How many of you have not used NotebookLM yet? All of us use NotebookLM. Well, I got no answers in both cases. So, are you familiar with NotebookLM or not?
Notebook, I've not
My
used.
personal
Not
use,
used.
yeah, I've used but very basic use of Notebook LM.
All right. Okay. All right. What we can do with NotebookLM, which is a tool that is mainly used for research and academic writing, because it will be based on resources, which you can upload articles, you can upload published articles or materials, Or you can do what I just did right now with the Scopus AI, generate your source file with 91 references that are updated and relevant to your research. And then we can upload it into their library. From there, I can write whatever piece of research that I want to write. Okay, so NotebookLM is an AI tool by Google, and it's actually a great tool to generate writing. And again, because I'm against AI tools who write without sources. For example, ChatGPT is a great tool. It's a great tool, but not for research. Why? I mean, it will provide a hell of wrong information, fake references, and they are looking very good. When you read these references, they look very good. You would actually believe these are true references, but when you go and search for these references, you cannot find them anywhere. And this is different when it comes to NotebookLM, because NotebookLM, again, is an AI tool that will provide the content and the context material based on whatever you upload and feed to it. So AI could be very helpful. However, you need to provide the information just to make sure these are not fake material provided by AI. All right, now let's go to NotebookLM, all right, and then create new file. And this is what we are going to get, all right? This window will pop up immediately asking you to upload. All right. So you have three choices: whether you want to upload from your device or Google Drive, or you want to link it to a YouTube video or a website, or you want to just paste whatever the content is. What I'm going to do is I'm going to choose the file that I just created from Scopus. Why? Because it's my library, it's my data. I mean, it's my source that I just created about online learning. So once I created this and I fed it to NotebookLM, it has read the file, okay? And then it will give you a brief summary about this file. The provided text is an extensive research overview concerning online learning and student satisfaction, focusing primarily on literature between 2018-2023, particularly post-COVID-19. You see, this is all the information from the source that I just created. Now, it depends on you. If you want to use this as a supervisor, I mean, you created the file and then provided the file to NotebookLM. For example, you want to show the students how to write a good problem statement, or how to write their theoretical framework, how to come out with the structure of the course. All right. So you just start typing. For example, what are the main theories in this field of study based on the source? Right? What are the main theories when it comes to online learning and student satisfaction? These are the main theories, okay, which is totally accurate and true. Technological acceptance model, UTAC, community of inquiry, sociological theories, and so on. So if your student doesn't know these theories, you can just ask about the theories. All right, can I write 250 words as an introduction using the reverse triangle approach. Okay. When you want to use AI, you want to be very specific and you want to give as much information as you can. So the results will be accurate at the end. So write 250 words as an introduction using the reverse triangle approach in 3 paragraphs. Okay. One is the global perspective about the issue. Second, narrow it down to Malaysia text. 3, third paragraph is introduce the main contribution of this research. Okay, I could have just said write 250 words as an introduction based on the file that I just fed you, but instead I would always like to go in details. I like to give AI as much information and details as I can, so that when the information comes out, it comes very clear and 100% aligned with what I expect. So this is the introduction that have been written. See how many references used. Now, if you notice, these are numbers. What about converting these references into APA style? Now, this will definitely take some time because inside the main source file from Scopus, it was based on numbers, but these numbers are linked with the list of references at the end of the report. Let's see how this could be possible for NotebookLM. Now we can use this same strategy with ChatGPT. When you are done extracting the Scopus AI report, you can use the same with ChatGPT. We will go and try in ChatGPT as well, and we'll see the difference. All right. While this is generating the content, let's go and try out some of the features that actually Notebook can create. One of them is called audio overview. Now, these are the reference extracted. You see, very fast, very accurate. Oh, it extracted the whole list of references. And then it will rewrite the introduction into APA style. You see? All right. Now rewrite the above introduction using APA references style. And at the end, list only the references used in introduction. Rewrite the above introduction using APA style, and at the end, list only the references used in the introduction. You see? Now, this is the introduction using APA style in text citation. Same introduction I've just written right now. And at the end, these are the list of references out of 91. Any questions? Do we have any questions?
No.
Okay, great. Now, one of the amazing tools that we can use also using AI is the studio that a notebook actually provide. One of them is called mind map. If I click mind map, it will be creating a mind map about this topic. Now, I want to create all of them so that you can see the difference. Audio overview, video, reports, okay, flashcards, and then quiz. Both infographic and slide deck, it actually can create a presentation, but you need a subscription for these two. Now, it has already created the mind map. If I click on the mind map here, you see this is my main topic, the student satisfaction in online learning. I have core influencing factors. If I click here, these are the influencing factors, technological factors, pedagogical factors, social factors, and then I click again. I want to know more about these technological factors. These are the technological factors, system quality, usability, and so on. Pedagogical factors, course design, structure, instructor presence, and so on. And then social presence, peer support, emotional, and so on. So, so if you just open all these factors, you will find this brilliant, huge mind map for the whole topic that you just created. See, can even more. Now, creating mind map itself used to be very challenging, and you need money. But this from Google is totally free, and you can go and expand all these in just one click. Ready? You see, this is my mind map. All right. I can just download the mind map into my computer and I'm ready to go. All right. Now, aside from mind map, I have created a research quiz. If you want to create a research quiz based on the topic, according to the source material, which of the following best describe blah, blah, blah. And I have research flash cards. I can use inside my classroom as activities. And what's even better is both the audio and video, but this will take some time to create. While doing this, let's go back and to our resource and make kind of a comparison between ChatGPT and NotebookLM. What I'm going to do is I am going to seek the file, the same file that I have just created from Scopus, okay? But here, I like to deal with AI as, as a thinking partner. So first, read the file and let me know what is this about. Okay, I have carefully read the document. What the document is, this file is Scopus AI generated analytical synthesis titled online learning. Okay, this is all correct and accurate information. What is the purpose of the document is to systematically map what is already known, identify the key dimensions, highlight validated measurement, point out research gaps, and so on. Okay, the core focus area covered in the field. Again, the measurement instruments, all right? And then the limitation, future directions, all this theoretical orientation, which is TAM, UTAT, COI and socio-technical and organization perspectives. Now, this is great. I want to provide this information. Instead of me writing, this is a Scopus AI, blah, 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 I'll just ask, what is this file about? Now, let's say I am a PhD student. How can I use this file? I'm a PhD student. How can I use this file? As a PhD student, you should treat this file as a strategic secondary source, not as a study to be cited directly. Below is a clear PhD level guide on how to be legitimately effective using this file. What role this file should play in your PhD, blah, blah, blah. Okay. It's still writing. Now, I am confused about the title of my PhD in the exact same area. All right. What I will do is I will activate, if you click plus icon, I will activate the web search. When I want ChatGPT to search about an information from the internet, I'll just activate the search. Now, search the web and deeply read the file provided. Provide me with a unique or PhD study. Okay, so based on this information, I mean the file, and also based on the activation from the search, you see, I searched both the existing research topics, gaps in the literature, and also it uses ResearchGate as one of the browsers. All right. The criteria for these titles, each title below is grounded, blah, blah, blah. All right. Unique PhD title suggestion is explaining online learning satisfaction, explaining online learning satisfaction through multi-level mediators and moderators, a structural model integrating engagement, instructor presence, and digital readiness. Okay, I'm still confused. I'll just say I'm still confused. Please provide me with one title and ask me questions. Now, when I tell ChatGPT to ask me questions, I mean for ChatGPT to be able to provide me with the final title, I need to answer these questions. These questions are, who will your study target? Undergraduate, postgraduate, lifelong learners? Let's say with undergraduate, for example. So I'll just put undergraduate, comma, the context, Malaysia, right? The methodological preference, what are you going to do? Is it a quantitative, qualitative? Is it mixed method? I'm going with mixed method. What are you focusing on? Is it fully online, blended, MOOCs? I will go with blended, right? The key constructs interest. Okay, is it the student engagement, digital readiness, course design quality, instructor presence, technological or technology usability, and or others? I will go with student, or let's go with course design quality. No, I'll just go with student engagement because it was one of the main keywords. Okay. Now, these are the answers for my title. Let's see. Thank you. Based on the context, undergraduate students in Malaysia, mixed method design, blended hybrid learning, and student engagement as key construct, I propose one strong, focused, and researchable PhD title. which is the mediating role of student engagement in relationship between blended learning design and undergraduate student satisfaction in Malaysia higher education. What I could even do more is, okay, now I will just close this search. I don't need it anymore. Once activated, ChatGPT could provide extra references that are not relevant. So it's even safer to do this search without activating any other tools, unless you need it. Okay, I will go with this title. Run the source, file again, and provide me with the list of references out of 91. I need only references that are 100% aligned with my new title. Now, the file, the source that I just used, has 91 references. Just in case some of these references are not aligned anymore with the title that I just proposed. Okay, final reference list for satisfaction. You see, it organized these references based on whatever the field is. These 4 references are more about core satisfaction and engagement foundations. These are blended. These are student engagement as mediating mechanism, undergraduate higher education context, and all these categories. So I'll be ending with 20 research references out of 91. Any questions so far? I hope everything is clear. Any questions?
No,
Okay.
it's clear.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Now, from the extracted list of references, write an introduction. I want you to compare between whatever, what is it? Google NotebookLM and ChatGPT, the introduction between both. So I'll just use the same prompt that I used here. Okay, right, just copy paste. Write a 250 words as an introduction using the same thing. And let's see the differences. Online and blended learning have become component. Okay. In the Malaysian higher education context, addressing this gap, let's see here. So it started from a very wide perspective about this topic, online learning and blended learning, Norway down to Malaysian higher context, and then what this study is going to actually provide. Now let's go to this introduction. The rapid expansion of online learning accelerated by COVID-19. Okay, to ensure these findings are applicable across diverse geographical settings, studies in Asian contexts, for example, often face unique contextual challenges such as, all right, but I mean, it mentioned Asia, not Malaysia. All right, this research aims to deepen understanding of online student satisfaction or by addressing critical gaps. So what do you think? Which one is more, I mean, academically written? Is it Notebook LM or ChatGPT? What do you think? This is the introduction from ChatGPT. Started with online blended learning and how it become a component for higher education after COVID. No, there's no mention about COVID-19 here. And where student satisfaction has emerged as a critical indicator, all right? But here it started with the rapid expansion of online learning and accelerated by COVID-19. So which one do you think it's more appropriate to use for academic wise? Any ideas?
NotebookLM.
Notebook. Why? Why is that?
Because it's more precise and to the point. Here we can find it's more of a elaborate. I think sometimes it doesn't look like it's to the point.
Do you mean from ChatGPT? So Notebook
Yes,
LM
ChatGPT
is
not to the point.
more
Yes.
specific.
Yes, sir.
Well, yes, I do agree with you. Any other opinions? Yes, please.
Yes, Dr. Fred, you've raised your hand. You can.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Okay.
audible now.
Okay, so I agree with the colleague here. Let me. Okay, so I think the difference between ChatGPT and Google is that Google really scours through real, big data, and my observation is that the references it provides are kind of like real and actual, whereas ChatGPT gives references when you verify they're either broken links or they're not true.
Yeah.
So I would tend to use more NotebookLM, or even Gemini. Google actually provides you with that particular requirement. Yeah, that's my opinion.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Hi. All right. Thank you very much again. So yes, I do agree with both of you that Notebook LM is more, I mean, toward academic writing than ChatGPT. That's why I do not rely on ChatGPT when it comes to academic and research pieces. But when you provide the source and you provide the list of references to be used by any AI tool, then the results will be totally different from if you just ask the tool to just write for you. I mean, which is not accurate at all. And this is unfortunate because majority of the students just do that. They need to be exposed on how to actually use AI. It's not a random process. Now, one of the things that NotebookLM provide is it summarize. For example, you have an article that you want your students to read. Instead of reading the article, you just can convert this article into a podcast. Okay, so let's listen how NotebookLM converted this into an audio.
Welcome back to the deep dive. You know, if the last few years have taught us anything in education, it's that online delivery. Well, it isn't just
Okay, now once this audio is generated, it could be from one anchor, or if you click interactive means it will be like two hosts that will host your audio. So let's listen.
Welcome back to the deep dive. You know, if the last few years have taught us anything in education, it's that online delivery. Well, it isn't just a temporary fix anymore.
Is it audible, right? You can hear it? Can you hear it, Dr. Dalwan?
Yes, audible. Audible.
The permanent evolving future of learning. And the sheer speed of this shift, which was so heavily accelerated by the pandemic, means one question has become just crucial for institutions everywhere. Is the learner actually satisfied?
That really is the pivot point. Because of that massive increase in scale, student satisfaction has become the critical measure of quality, of effectiveness, and, fundamentally, whether an online program is even sustainable. If you aren't satisfied with the experience, you won't retain the knowledge, and you certainly won't stick around.
So that's our mission today. We dove into a really comprehensive research synthesis, mostly covering the newest findings from, say, 2018 through 2023 to give you a shortcut.
You see how it's actually based 100% based on the information that I give. Nothing generated from Google or the AI tool itself. It is based on the resource. So if you have an article, if you have a class, let's say methodology or research methodology class, and you have that into, slides or PDF file, you can upload this and convert it into this podcast. One more thing that you can do is the video. You can create a video instead of slides. And this video, again, will be based on whatever material that you just provide.
In the last few years, the entire world of education got turned on its head. It was kind of like millions of us were all of a sudden handed a box of weird ingredients, shown a brand new digital kitchen we'd never used before, and told, all right, go cook a gourmet meal. Some of those meals, absolutely fantastic. Others, well, let's just say they were a bit of a disaster. So what's the difference? What separates a 5-star online learning experience from a total burnout? Okay, so let's get into it. What is the secret recipe for a genuinely great online class? Well, it turns out it's not just one magic ingredient. It's really a careful blend of a whole bunch of different things that all have to work together just right. And right off the bat, here's something we have to get straight. Well, yeah, having the latest tech is cool and all. The research is absolutely screaming this at us. The tools alone do not make the class. The real magic, that happens when the technology, the actual teaching, and that crucial human connection all come together.
So let's start with the absolute basics. Just like any chef needs a kitchen.
All right. Any question about NotebookLM or ChatGPT or Scopus AI? Any questions at all? Alright.
I do have a question. So earlier when you said Scopus, when we are using Scopus AI, so it is not shown as AI generated. What about NotebookLM? Is it the same as Scopus AI?
If you still use the source that you provide, and then use it as a source to write from there, the AI detection will not be 0 though, but it will be it will be lower than if you asked NotebookLM to generate from nothing. The whole idea about AI detection and how this report actually works is that the similarity report, the not AI similarity report, it will just look into this text around, on the web. If it's there, it will detect as a similarity because it's just written there and copy paste. But when it comes to AI, it's not actually anywhere. It will be based on assumptions, the AI detection. So if the language is very advanced in a way, complicated, some of the terms that AI usually use is in the text, then it will be detected as AI. That's the whole point. Now, when we provide this source of the file that we just created from Scopus, which was created by humans, published material on the internet, but rephrase it, it will not be AI generated, neither similarity. So, but what you need to do is all cases, you need to paraphrase whatever, you generate from whatever tool, at least paraphrase. And there is a very simple but very important prompt that you need to use whenever you use ChatGPT or Gemini or NotebookLM. is to ask it to write in a human-alike language or a human-alike writing style. This is very, very important, and it makes a huge difference when it comes to AI detection.
Yeah, thank you, Professor. So what we've done in Global X University is that we have put a pause to the AI detection because of certain inconsistencies that have happened. So that shouldn't be a problem for now. But since we do not have, I mean, even the AI detection is not 100% reliable. So shouldn't be a problem then, but a similarity for Turnitin similarity, it doesn't detect as 100% similarity, right? Even if it's paraphrased, that should be fine, I guess.
Yes, it should be fine. And yes, I agree with you. For AI detection, if you run the similarity now, it will be different if you run it 10 minutes later, right? And
Correct.
sometimes I have native students in my class, and their language is good, is perfect. So they swear that this is written from if of them. It's not AI detection. I say, yeah, I believe you. I do not trust, this AI similarity, but this is the philosophy and of how AI detection works.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. I believe
I
someone
have
else.
can I ask a
Yes.
question?
Yeah. Yes,
Yes.
please.
Right.
Yeah, actually a couple of questions. Okay, so what AI detector do you use, Professor, to find out whether this student submission is of AI or not?
Mm. What do I
What
do to find
AI
out?
detector? What AI detector? Because now, as what Dr. Dalvin is mentioning, the different AI detectors are not consistent. Some of them would probably indicate, like, for example, 83%, some of them 40%. Because at the end of the day, we need to kind of like come up with something in order for lecturers, especially, to be able to mark papers, more fairly. Because if we're going to not face the not face the elephant in the room, all of us will be just assuming that a particular work is either AI or not AI. So at the end of the day, I think a standard should be established. So we'd like to learn from you, Professor. What the first step is? What do you think would be the best AI detector that we can start off using and probably
Okay.
experiment on until we find some solution to this dilemma?
All right. Thank you very much for this question. It's very important. And I do believe that this is the future that we are talking about. And it's not about the tool. I mean, I do not trust any tool anymore, as Dr. Dolwyn just mentioned. What I do, on the other hand, is that I do believe all the students are using ChatGPT or whatever AI tools that they are using, but I do my best to teach them how to use it the correct way. And when it comes to assessment, that is actually basically essays, I require them to submit both the assessment along with their prompts with ChatGPT or whatever AI tool that they use. I want to see what to what extent they use their critical thinking. Is it just only give me 250 words, or is it give me the structure, give me the history, analyze these articles, just the way that we use AI just now? I want to see the students are able to have a dialogue conversation with AI instead of just copy paste, because I don't use tools, right? But when I read the student work, I know this is ChatGPT, and I know this is Gemini, I know this is NotebookLM, and so on. And this is why you, as a supervisor, it's a must for you to not only have the basics on how to use AI, but you need to master AI. Otherwise, you will not be able to tell. Because students now, Some of them, I mean, we have three categories of students. Number one, they will get 100% of AI and they don't care, because they know we cannot do anything. Second one is they get 0% of AI because they use paid tools to humanize their work. But if you look at their work, it's ChatGPT 100%. But they use humanized tools to rewrite this. Then the AI detection will be 0. And then the third group of students, they will use AI and try to fix it as much as they could. So we'll get 40, 50, maybe 60%. And I mean, these three groups, we cannot do anything to them. But personally, what I use is I ask them to submit both the assessment along with the dialogue, the whole dialogue with AI or ChatGPT, so that at least I know the objective of this assessment is achieved and they get the knowledge that is actually required. I hope I answered your question.
Yeah, I think partially, but at the end of the day, as I mentioned, this really a very difficult problem to solve unless, especially for ODL universities, for those universities or private education institutes like what we have here in Singapore. We try to, we actually encourage our students to use AI to the very best, but the problem there is, these skills of critical thinking, problem solving, and decision making is kind of like suppressed. So accepting that reality, I think because AI is here to stay, we cannot do much about that. So what we do is to deploy more non-text based assessments, right? So for example, 20% or even 30% of their work will be text based. So we would know that they using AI. And what we do also is to use only one AI detector, which we tell our students, okay, to be fair, we all use Zero GPT because this has been the original kind of like detector that came out there, and comparing it with Turnitin AI, it seems to match the AI generated content percentage.
Mhm.
So in other words, 20-30%, we all know that they're going to use AI. And to be fair, they should use GPT before they submit to us. But the 70%, we try to do like performance-based assessments, like role-playing or do videos and other ways, like demonstrate how to do things. But the problem now is for ODL institutions like Global Next University. That's why I think we should come up with something really quite standard for all the lecturers. My suggestion really is like use either we use Turnitin's AI detector, right? Because Turnitin, based on my experience, also with UK universities, they can subscribe to both the similarity index and the AI generated content percentage. And in my
Yes.
experience, it matches the CRG. These just suggestions. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, but even with the Turnitin AI detector, it is actually not reliable. And like I think Professor has just mentioned, what you submit in your first submission and what you submit in your second submission, you get totally different percentages showing the AI similarity. So that is when we realized that, like another example I could relate to is the one on native speaker. Even if you write it on your own and you have good English proficiency, it detects as AI writing. So even uh, the Turnitin has confirmed that we cannot use their AI generated to grade assessments. So
Yes.
to even penalize students. So that is when we have realized that universally there is no perfect AI detector as of now, and it's not fair to penalize students based on these AI detectors. If we talk about PhD or master research, AI detectors cannot detect anything more than 30%. That's my understanding as of now. So I think it's like what Prof Hassan mentioned. I think we have to look at the processes rather than the end result. So within the process, how do we go about? Yeah, I think Prof Hassan, back to you. Don't want to hijack your session. So over to you again.
Thank you very much. Yes, I agree with you. We actually used ODL. We used Turnitin in our ODL program, and what we have came out with the last semester is to ask the student to first, because it's AI Turnitin report, but it's not accurate at all, as I mentioned. So I asked them to submit their assessment along with the whole prompt conversation between the student and ChatGPT, and we have created, I think, 30 or 40% for presentation and practical work, so that we know it's something. At least they understand what they are looking for. I mean, when I go through their prompts, I actually inserted some of the mark in the rubric only for the prompts, so that I can mark that actually, and this is 100% aligned with their critical thinking. All right, I just want to end my session with the ethical, responsible, and I think we were just discussing about that and how we would be very transparent and fair to our students, because we know that AI is in everybody's life nowadays. It's present. We cannot do anything about it. We need to live with it, and it's part of our lives. So for the students as well, that's why one of the solution is to just provide the support. They need guidance. The students need to know how to use AI responsibly, so that I mean, when I started doing this, marking their prompts, I noticed there is a huge difference among the students in understanding the content, because previously they were just copy and paste from ChatGPT and answer the assessment. Now they are very careful with the prompts, because they know I'm going to read all these prompts along with their assessment, and then I'll map both of them, and then based on these two, I'll give the final mark. So students, again, they need guidance. They need to be they need to be guided in a way that this is the ethical and responsible way to use AI. And as I always mention, it's not only the student job, it's our jobs as well as supervisors. We need to be masters when it comes to AI. It's not basic knowledge anymore, or else you will not be able to detect students' work, because they simply use ChatGPT. You wouldn't even imagine to what extent they use ChatGPT. So you need to experience all sort of AI tools to reach that level. You can judge this content or this essay without even using any AI tool. All right. And one of the, thing that we had also done is we created this agreement that the student must take at the end of the assessment, that they have used whatever AI tool, they should name it, and for what purpose. So they at least acknowledge whatever AI tool that they used and for what purpose. For example, majority of them will use ChatGPT, and the purpose will be paraphrase. So if they say that, they acknowledge the use of AI. All right. And again, about this supervisor student AI dialogue prompts, I always encourage all my colleagues, all my friends. This is a very, very useful way on how to not only monitor their use of AI, but increase their critical thinking, increase their understanding about this topic. I truly understand that this is maybe take a longer time for you as a supervisor to mark and so on. But when it comes to postgraduate and ODL in particular, this is a very good way of using AI and guiding the students of using AI. All right. Any questions so far?
I think Dr. Bharti has raised her hand. Dr. Bharti, do you have a question?
Yeah. We very recently in our institution going to use AI, assignments where they can declare and then have what you said, the prompts that comes with the assignment. But it will be the first time we'll be assessing them on this changed analytical assignments. So I'm curious to ask, from your experience, what are the pitfalls that the teachers should be, looking for? Like you said, one thing that you have in your rubric for the prompts, that you mark, what other things that the teacher could actually look when they are actually, assessing these or evaluating the assignments?
You say about evaluating the assignment in general or evaluating the prompt?
We have both. Like we said, like you can use AI for ideations as such, but you need to submit your prompt, like what interaction you had with the AI when you are creating this assignment. But it's the first time we're going to do it, so we are a bit like,
Okay.
you're trying to figure out how things would work.
All right. What I usually do is I will create a rubric for each assessment. In this rubric, there will be, for example, 10% for introduction, 20% for literature review, maybe 30% for recommendation. And then down, there'll be 10% for presentation. And finally, 10% for higher order thinking. In this higher order thinking, this 10% will be for the rubric, for the prompts. So I refer this 10% only for the prompt. So let's say a student submitted and their prompt is just give me 250 words in educational technology. Then this will get 0 out of 10 because there's no dialogue at all between the student and the AI tool. However, other students will be having this long conversation where it shows they trying to understand the topic instead of just generating the content. They're trying to understand what is this topic about. Can you summarize the article for me? Can you do a thematic analysis? If the students do this, then they will get 10 out of 10 for this higher thinking or higher order thinking, because they showed me that they do not rely on the AI tool itself to generate the content, but to use it as a tool to help, to summarize, to synthesize, to maybe analyze the articles and the information they provide.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Also, what I think I have mentioned that we have included, as you just mentioned, the policy where they need to acknowledge that I use whatever AI tool for whatever purposes or whatever reasons. And also we have included a presentation, what we call oral examination, as one of the tools as well. And it depends on the course itself, because some courses that I teach related to, for example, instructional design. So I have converted the assessment, instead of writing an essay, into maybe developing a unit for a course of their choice. So they will be able to, for example, use LMS, any LMS of their choice. For example, Google Classroom. They will go to Google Classroom, develop a whole unit. They will add their friends and they will act as teachers. They will create for a content for 1 week, So instead of just write a report about instructional design, model, ADDIE, whatever, they will be creating this unit, which will be a practical experience for them
Hands-on.
to
Yes.
yeah, hands-on to practice. What is ADDIE? How I use this model to create my own or design my own course.
Okay. Yeah, we'll be
Yeah.
looking for like after this assessment, we'll have so many, feedbacks from all teachers, like how can we modify for the next semester. Instead of presentation, we have added like a reflection. They like how did they use, what the difficulties they had, so we can work on that too, with the feedback that we'll be getting from different teachers for modification, maybe improvement for the next semester as such. But we are excited towards, shifting to this technology and how we can use this. So let's see how things roll for us for the next semester.
Well,
Thank
it's
you
a
so
new
much.
thing for all of us. We are all learning.
Yeah,
Hopefully, we'll
yeah.
get over this. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay.
All right. So, as a wrap up for this session, AI tool could be a huge helper. I mean, it could be your assistant, your partner thinking, but it will not replace humans, especially when it comes to supervisors. I mean, again and again, you are not required to only have the basic information and knowledge about AI. You need to master AI because our students are mastering it very, very much, and we don't want you to be left behind. Especially tools like Scopus AI, where it is a prestigious database we all know, and this information and this data is trusted, and it could be as a guideline for the whole study of PhD or masters. All right, that's all from me. Thank you very much. I will be open for question, Dr. Dalwan.
Thank you, Dr. Hassan. I in fact have one question here. Before I pass it over to everyone else. So, say the student is in the beginning stage of the research, and the student is still figuring out. So, the passion or the interest lies in, for example, educational technology. And what is the AI tool that he or she can use to figure out if that area has been researched or not researched? So, is there an AI tool to help in the preliminary stage of research?
What I usually do with my PhD, my newly joined PhD and master by research students, is ask them to create an SLR, systematic literature review, even if they don't want to publish it, but it's a must for them. Now, this could be created by AI. For example, the one that we just did by Scopus AI. But let's say it's not, I mean, Scopus AI is not provided by all universities. In this case, instead of using Scopus AI as a tool, we can actually download articles that are more recent and updated from Scopus and Web of Science databases, and then we feed them to NotebookLM. NotebookLM will guide us and create this source file, but it will not be as good as the file that Scopus AI will provide. So if the student have the accessibility for Scopus AI, that would be perfect. And this is the AI tool that I always advise the students to go with because it's trusted, as simple as that.
So it helps highlight the gaps when you do the SLR.
Yes. Yes. I mean, this is aside from AI. This is an advice that I always give to my PhD students: is to start their PhD journey with a systematic literature review (SLR). This SLR it's actually highlighting the most research gaps, the most theories used, whatever methodological gaps, what are the most common methods that have been utilized in their research, what are the most common instruments, tools that have been used. So doing SLR, it will just open up their journey, and above all that, they can publish SLR very easily.
Okay, thank you. But what about consensus AI? Because I have been using consensus AI for my personal use. Do you recommend that enough?
Well, the way I see it is all AI tools are very similar, but it depends on what is the purpose of doing research. And based on my experience, I really concluded that NotebookLM, ChatGPT, and Gemini are the best AI tools that are there. Some of them, for example, DeepSeek is good when it comes to mathematics. ChatGPT gives wrong information when it comes to mathematics. ChatGPT is not strong enough in research. NotebookLM is, I mean, the writing material is more advanced. So, I mean, all AI tools in a way they have the same capability, but it's you and your prompts engineering skills that will make the difference among
Right,
the results.
right. Okay, last question from me. What is citation? If we are, like you say, we have to acknowledge. Now, if you're doing research, PhD research or master research, do you have to cite the use of NotebookLM or Scopus AI and so on?
No, there's no citation, but nowadays it's very recent. The journals ask us as authors to write in the acknowledgement at the end of the report that what AI tool have been used for what purpose. Just the way that I'm using it, I just copy that to my assessment as well. So I would usually say I use ChatGPT, for example. I use ChatGPT from OpenAI to paraphrase or edit the language, in this phase or this section or this section. That's all.
Mm. Okay, so just
Yeah,
an acknowledgement statement.
just an acknowledgement. That's the best we can do now. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. That answers most of the doubts or queries I have. I think we'll open this to everyone else. Yeah.
Thank you very
Any
much.
questions? Any questions? Dr. Fred,
That's right. Dr. Dalvinda, Rajib is there
sorry.
asking
Hi,
questions.
Prof. Rajib.
Am I audible?
Yeah, you are.
Thank
Hello,
you so
Dr.
much,
Rajib.
Dr. Hassan. It was
Thank you.
wonderful so much for
Thank you.
this
Thank you very
fantastic
much.
session. We learned so much. I just want to know your opinion on one thing. Like, uh, somehow I believe that certain aspects of research have to be left traditional and conventional. And then other aspects, in other aspects, maybe we can bring in AI. So that my personal opinion is the more we are exposing our students to AI, they are becoming intellectually handicapped. And there's dishonesty aspect. There's no check for it. Once they complete a particular task with all dishonesty, then we come to know that, oh God, the student has done this. There's no detection per se of the student's intent. So I somehow believe that though we have these tools for us, wonderful tools, which are in a way, literally, they're automating every aspect of research, right? From the conception to the submission and whatnot. But then I personally believe that certain aspects have to be kept traditional. What is your take on it?
Well, I totally believe and I agree with you. I mean, I teach AI and I tell them to use AI, but at the same time, I always tell them we always need the human touch. AI is not there to replace you. I mean, there are certain areas as well in the research itself that could not be written by AI at all. It should be reflected by you as a human, and that's why I'm telling the students, and I'm telling my colleague as well to expose themselves to AI to the extent that once they read the content, they will know this is generated by AI. So I mean, the process of you developing your AI skills is for your own sake and for the students as well, to tell them that, okay, this is not right. This part should be written by you as a human. I need to see your human opinion, not AI. You see? Yeah. So yeah, I totally agree with you.
And doctor, we are in a strange juncture where we cannot exactly figure out where to stop the research aspect to keep it conventional and from where we can kind of automate it. I right now do not have that much of clarity. till where I should keep the research journey of my scholar in a traditional manner, and from where I should allow him or her to take over AI. Yeah.
Well, based on other opinion and scholars, they say as long as you not publicate and you don't use fake data, then when it comes to
Yeah.
writing material, elaborating, explanation, that would be acceptable. But again, even if you use AI to elaborate and explain, again, you need yourself as a human to reflect, rewrite, and give your own. I mean, your own character as an academic, or else it will be
Exactly.
erased by AI. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. I totally agree. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes.
Thank you very much.
There's a question from Dr. Sharmishta.
Yeah, hi. Good afternoon, all. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Hi. Good afternoon, Professor Hassan. That was quite insightful. And actually, my question was the same as Rajiv asked. So because we are into the transition mode right now, we have been into very traditional mode when we, had our PhDs. And now when you are guiding or supervising, our students are the generation who never been into the traditional idea of learning, per se, millennials and all. And Gen Z, we are dealing now. So sometimes it's very difficult for them, to be away from AI because everything is on their hands. Everything is in their hands. You are asking the question, immediately they are doing the, prompts or whatever. They know better prompt engineering than us. So actually, I really don't know because we did it traditional way and they are into the era where all these things are very handy. So how to keep them away? Human touch, definitely, I do agree. But what ratio or what percentage? I mean, how to, train them for this? Because their mind is struggling with the AI and traditional ways. Traditional ways are even my own kids, they don't want to, pursue traditional
Yeah.
ways. They say, why to waste our time? So I don't know what one thing will evolve this, or
Sure.
either we are also going in the same way because even sometimes I am not away from AI
Okay.
because we are
What
also
I
And
al-
into that
just to
mode.
corroborate.
Yes.
Yeah, and just to
Yes.
corroborate what Dr. Sarmishta ma'am said, that when we started to do our research, we didn't bother to go to library and study books for hours together. I mean, internet was the everything for us to do
No, I
literature.
Exactly.
Just
did.
like
So
that, the
I am
kids.
much older than you. I did library. That's where the difference. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a
So,
evolution
my
Yeah.
worry
stage.
is that these guys don't even consider usage of AI as dishonesty, intellectual dishonesty.
Yes.
They're so used to it. So,
Exactly. So that's why I always teach my students to do it the traditional way first. I never teach them to do it with AI, or else they will be ruined. And this is what I tell my students. We have came from a generation who used to do this for 6 months or 8 months. Now you can do it for within 1 minute or 2 minutes. But if you don't know how to do it originally, conventionally, you are not able to do it with AI. Yes. So I totally agree with you. When it comes to ratio, I read a very interesting article about the ratio, the 20, 80, I think 80, 20%, 80 human and 20 AI.
But it's
Um,
vice versa with them. This generation, it's vice versa.
I
you
don't think it's
always,
80-20. It's more than, it's definitely more than 20 there.
Yes.
I mean, when it comes to reality, yes, of course. But this is about the role in the article. It's 80 human and 20
It
AI.
should be,
Well,
but it's not.
so
Yes.
it should be. I think it's the other way around now
It's the other
nowadays.
way around. Correct. Agree.
Yeah, it is.
True.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Prof.
but
Mohandas?
Professor, one more question. But how do we determine the 20%? Which detector going to use? We come back to the same
Well,
question, you see.
well, there
How do
is
you
no
know that is
detector. If you
20%? How
ask
do you know
me,
it's 30%?
I mean, the detector is you. It's always the detector is you, because that's why you need to expose yourself, whether you like it or not. you need to be very
Professor, sorry.
advanced
Okay, I
in
need
AI.
because this is really an issue. You see, I've been using AI since 2022. I use Copilot, Claude, Gemini. Now I'm trying to use Consensus and
Okay.
and detectors also. I use Zero GPT. I have Turnitin. I have Undetectable. I also have humanizers, so that we can really find out how this issue can be resolved for us. I believe in you that we need to really be ahead of our students. But the real question now is how do we determine the 20% if we're not going to use detectors? That's what I'm saying. As my experience goes, and it's modesty aside, Turnitin used to be not so much better than Zero GPT, but it came to a point that it matched the capability of Zero GPT. So, yeah, so at the end of the day, we don't know whether it's 20%. I cannot find out what's the proportion of AI content if not, I'm not going to use any detector, even if I read through over and over again. That's just my 2 cents worth.
Well, we use detectors, as I mentioned, but we cannot trust them because they are simply not trustworthy. They do not provide accurate information.
But how do you know this? Because AI is much better than human beings. So I think the best way to do this is my opinion, is for us to all test what's the best detector there is. Okay. And
There's no
I
best
think there will come a
detectors.
time when we will be able to say, oh, okay, these are very reliable detectors. But we have to have something. You cannot just leave it
We do
up to
have
us
we do
to
have
find out
Turnitin now,
which one, right?
but we cannot trust any detectors. I mean,
Yes, I
the
Yes.
I
philo-
Yes, yes,
I
I agree with
solely
that. I
agree.
agree
There,
with
there
that.
is no best detector. I, in fact, had a conversation with the Ministry of Higher Education recently, and even the MOHE, the Ministry of Higher Education, can't uh, confirm or can't give a consensus on the best detector because there
True,
is no such thing as best detector. So this is not just the case in Malaysia, but universally there is no best detector.
exactly.
So I think we it all falls back to the supervisor, to the lecturer who's teaching that subject, that you have to make that decision on your own. And it's very, and again, it's very personal. It's very something that we have to do on our own.
Exactly. I
Yes.
totally agree with you.
Yeah, agree. Okay. So let me just one more thing. So I was asked by doing the micro award, and there's this comment that I had in one of the work of student work. Whenever I sense that there's a AI generated content, I just say there are signposts or signs of non-originality text. I don't explain. I don't put anything there. So the student kind of like brought up the issue. There's no proof. There's no proof that there's no AI. But actually, I use uh, 3 AI generators, and they're all like almost similar AI content: 83%, 97%, 84%. Three of them. So I think from my point of view, since the decision will be left with lecturers like us, I would still try to make use of certain detectors just for me to be convinced that, how much AI they use, rather than just read through and don't use at all. I won't trust detectors, but so far, based on my experience, I have this detector which matches all the others. So that's just my point of view.
Yeah, yeah. We still do that, yes. We use detectors. I mean, in my case, we use Turnitin, but we know the percentage, but we still cannot do anything about it.
Yeah, and again, I think this is also another conversation I had with a colleague from University of Hong Kong, where a student actually sued the university for using even the Turnitin AI detector, because the disclaimer is that you cannot penalize students using any AI detector. So till we have some sort of consensus or clarification regards this matter, I think it's not safe to penalize any students using any sort of AI detector. So we have to go with the flow, I think. Again, that we have to tweak the assessments. We have to look at the processes and rather than the end result. So this is, again, it falls back to the instructor, the lecturer, the program leaders, and so on. So I guess if there are no other questions, we're good to wrap up. But Prof. Mohandas, I think you have raised your hand. Do you still have something to say?
Thank you, Professor Hassan. It was a wonderful exposure to what the topic meant.
Thank you.
But
Thank
in
you.
line with what was discussed just now, I was looking into two aspects. One is on high order thinking and critical thinking, these two aspects, because I feel that when we really look into the students' work, or otherwise when we have some chats with the students, or otherwise when we have some meetings and discussions, I think these two things could be definitely analyzed, which is something different than that of what they have extracted from AI. So do you feel that this is another way of detecting or finding out that whether they have referred more into AI or with their own human touch?
Well, as I mentioned, thank you very much, Prof. We intend to add more practical and oral examinations during the assessment, not only the prompt, so they will be submitting the prompt along with the essay itself, which is the assessment, along with the presentation. At least they know, we know that they know what they are doing, they understand the content of the course. I mean, also in some courses where I could provide an outcome, a product, a unit, or I will be able to produce a unit, then it's going to be the product itself that the student will do instead of just writing essay that most probably will be generated from AI.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Prof.
I have a quick
No.
question.
Dr.
said,
Bharti?
yeah, yes. You said we can generate concept maps and mind maps using AI tools. Do we need to have any reference or citation when we're using them in research papers, or we don't need them?
As long as I know it's yours, because it was created by you. You are the copywriter of the idea, not the AI tool. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay. I guess we've covered all the questions. Yeah. So on behalf of Global Next University, I take the opportunity to thank our facilitator today. He's on LinkedIn, very popular and very active. I always enjoy reading his posts. Thank you so much, Associate Professor Dr. Hassan. And we really appreciate your insights. And I think there's just so much to learn when it comes to AI. And like we said, the debate can go on and on. So we have to, as supervisors, we have to continue learning. And I think we have also wrapped up with today's sessions. We have also wrapped up our Supervisor Development Program. Some of the supervisors have been there from the first session, and I'm very glad for your participation as well. And again, thank you so much. Can we perhaps have one photo, if you don't mind switching on your cameras before we end the session?
Yes, of course.
Yeah. Just a screen. Okay. Well, for all of you to switch on your cameras. Yeah. Thank you. 1, 2, 3. Thank you so much. And I'll see you soon. Thanks, Professor.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr.
Have a good day, everybody. Bye.
Thank you, Dr. Dalvin. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.